Hey Spuddies, PotatoMcWhiskey here, and welcome to Let's Play Civilization 6 as the Gaul. Now we're 2 turns away from picking up the research lab, which means our science is going to massively increase. Although it already has massively increased in relation to the AI, we're actually second in terms of science, and we're only 2 techs behind China. I don't remember why I have a settler up here. I think it was to maybe try to pick up this coal here and also see if we could maybe get a good oppidum up in the north. I've got 9 turns until the next era, and I'm about 20 points off a golden age, which I think means I'm going to have to do a bit of a retreat and see if I can escape to set up for a war, because not only do I need to build research labs, I need to be prepared for a rebellion that's about to happen. I'm expecting to lose a unit or 2 here to all these city shots and infantry running around. Yeah, lost some artillery and some stuff, but not that big of a deal. The main thing is if we can get the majority of our army out without major losses, I'll be happy. And that's probably going to involve having to kill this infantry, so we may as well get to work on that one. Right, get rid of him. He's out of the way. And now we should be able to safely retreat. Cuirassiers are actually quite good against the Free City infantry units. Musketmen are a little bit weaker, but thanks to the King of the Eperones, they're quite good as well. With the flanking bonus, they can kind of hold up pretty good. Right, we got our stock exchange in Lisieux. I am going to just tell the city to start a coal power plant, but we're almost immediately going to switch over to the research lab. I have another spy. I think he escaped from somewhere. I think I have a spy in Chengdu. No, I have a spy in Xi'an. I think I'll send one to Chengdu because I want to hurt China. Final promotion for Peter. I will grab sabotage production. Oh, it's not the final promotion, so it's the first promotion. I think it was another guy who I had fully promoted. Now, I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 cities. And 40% of my cities are going to revolt. So that means like somewhere in the region of 6 to 7 cities are going to revolt once this era takes over. And I want to try to pick the cities that revolt, ideally to be ones that I can easily recover. I do have access now to research labs, and I'm almost certainly going to need artillery now. So I'll want to pick up refining and steel so that I can actually get artillery once the era flips over. Because I'll need artillery to retake my cities. It's 100% guaranteed. But in the meantime, I can get research labs in a few of my cities. In particular, I'll look around, and pretty much anywhere where I can build it in like 8 or 9 turns, I'll get it. Anywhere under 7 turns, I'll get it. But anywhere over 7 turns, I don't know if this city's going to flip independent or not. So I might want to spend time picking up something different. Like, for example, more musketmen, more field cannons, things like that. Get rid of this cavalry using my own cavalry. And start retreating. Now, I might be able to, if I'm lucky, retake Mainz on the way back, actually. And if I can retake Mainz on the way back, that's a pretty big deal, because that means that's a city that can flip independent that I don't care that much about. I don't care if this becomes a free city. Yeah, I've got a little bit of work ahead of me. I don't think I'm going to build that factory in time, so we'll instead go for a musketman. And I should also, in the city of Lugdunon, place my neighborhood down. Even if the city flips independent, it may as well be down, just for the sake of placing it. Here is my fully promoted spy. I must have sent him home. So he's good at disrupting rocketry and stealing technology. And I feel like China is the right place to send him. Although I've already sent people to the 2 Chinese cities that I care about. So I might send them back to Mabanza, Congo. Or I might look around, actually, see who's making the most money. Because it would be nice to steal a bit of cash. And it looks like Cusco is actually making enough gold that I could steal nearly 600 every time I do a money steal there. Right, let's see if we can flip Mainz and make it our own. The big mistake that I've made, however, is that I've actually unlocked infantry. So when my cities flip independent, they're going to spawn infantry. So I'm going to be dealing with at least 16 infantry plus whatever else those cities build. It's going to make my life quite difficult. Okay, I think, do I care about stealing tech? Not really. I would rather steal money. because money is what makes my empire go around, especially because I'm only making 16 gold per turn. I'm going to need that cash to hold the line, so to speak. All right, let's blow Mainz out of the water, and then we'll flip it with this musketman. And I could liberate it. I think I will keep it. I think I can keep it for a few turns if I throw Reina into it. And I'll be able to hold it for 7 turns, which it should flip independent at the end of the industrial era. Perfect. So that worked out for me. I've also got James Watt here. Now, the cool thing about James Watt is that he instantly builds a factory and workshop, but he also gives factories +2 production. So I just want to look for a city that has a unbuilt factory and workshop, and Millennium is a good option, as is Bibracte. So I'll send it to Bibracte, and we'll use them there. So like I was saying, I need to get my army back into my sort of main area, because depending on, like, if stuff flips independent up here to the north, I may never retake it before the game ends. Right, there's capitalism. We have access to the shopping mall, which is going to give us very nice amounts of gold and amenities. Currently have +1 amenity, which doesn't give us any bonuses, but if I can get that up to +2 or +3, we'll start to see some benefits. Now that we've finished capitalism, we want to pick our ideology. And there's 2 main ideologies you can go for when you're going for a science win. You can either go for democracy, if you want to go for a more diplomatic version of the science win, where you do a lot of international trading. Or you can go for class struggle if you want to do a more internal focused version of it, because it has that nice 10% science buff and the extra inherent effect of production. The advantage of class struggle is you get a lot of extra science and a lot of extra production, sort of spread out wherever your governors are. And you also just generally get more science. But the advantage of democracy is you can get absurd production numbers in a single city using the ally trade route mechanic. I think, however, we're going to go for more of an internal science victory here, because I'm not trading internationally. I'm mostly focused on internal trade. So we're going to go for communism, and I think part of that is going to be centralizing all of my trade routes into my capital. There's a trade route somewhere looking to be refreshed. Yeah, there it is. Because I'm only at 4 out of 6, and I think I only just got access to another trade route there the other turn. I think I built a harbour in one of these cities. Yeah, I need more trade route capacity, so there must be another trade route somewhere. I'm building it in Bibracte. Anyway, yeah, like I was saying, we're going for class struggle this game. Settled another city. Hopefully this one will absorb some of the loyalty problems that'll come at this Dark Age. Really is, like, I don't think I can get another 15 era score in 5 turns. That'll be a really, really tough one to pull off. It's probably not impossible if I had ever really played for optimization, or maybe if I was, like, really, really focusing on leveling up my units. But as it stands, it's a rough one. And this is a very war-focused mode. Like, you really should go to war. It's probably a mistake that I have avoided war as much as I have. I'm also building bombards basically everywhere for my artillery push that will come with oil. But here's the thing, I might not get oil. So this could be really, really bad for me. I might be looking at a very, very rough set of turns here coming up now. All right, free factory and free workshop in here. Amazing. James Watt is one of my favorites, because not only does he make your factories and stuff better, but he gives you a free one. And like, if you really think about that, a factory alone costs like 300 production. And I think the workshop is 190 or so, 195, yeah. So you're basically getting like 500 production instantly in a city, which is insane. Plus another 2 production per turn for each factory, which is also insane. Now, looks like I somehow found a relic. What? Where did I even get this? Do I have an auto-exploring scout somewhere? Did you find it? Who found this? What does this say over here on the right? It says, the holy relic of the evangelist and placed in the palace of Aduatka. What? How did I get this? Whatever. Right, we have access to refining, which means we have access to oil. Now we just need to pray. Oh, we've already got a neighborhood on this oil. That's fantastic. And we've got oil in a lake. That's less useful, because we need to actually have plastics to get access to that. And the third source of oil is also in water. That's really, really bad. I was hoping that we would get much better oil than that. It's almost as bad as our coal situation. We do have another chunk of oil that we could grab over here, which is good. I'm going to slap a pin on that so I remember where it is. Then we'll continue to search for more. Oh, there's one up here in the far north, and one over, there's 2 over here. Yeah, I'm going to need that oil. So I think I'm gonna need 3 more settlers this game. It's gonna have to just happen. I need 3 more settlers to get this oil, and these 2 oil up here. I do love seeing these really high production numbers though. This one in particular, look at this, plus 10 from the coal power plant, plus 10 from the Oppidum, 21 from buildings, total of 64. This is just a fantastic city. Probably a good idea to actually produce a bit of infantry, although I think I'm going to have to rely heavily on AT crew as my mainline infantry units, because I'm going to need all of my oil for artillery. Well, this is it, the moment of truth. It's 1 turn until a dark age, and I am a 14 points shy. So let's go ahead and get this turn ended. I have repositioned most of my military sort of in the direction that I would want them to be. It's by no means perfect. They're not exactly in perfect positioning, but we're sort of in the direction that we want to be. We have most of them concentrated down around the south because these are the most important cities to recapture. I'm 2 turns away from grabbing artillery. I'm building a bunch of bombards. Most of them are finishing now. Some of them will finish much later as artillery when they're converted. And I've also got a little bit of infantry and an AT. I should not be building this infantry. This is meant to be a musketman. This guy, I can't afford to have him taking up oil. So it's got to be an AT crew switch here. Now sometimes that automatic switch kind of catches you out. Now I've been doing a bit of internal trade route, in particular for production. And unfortunately, my internal trade routes from my capital just aren't very good. So I might want to actually switch to external. But for now, I'll just keep trading with places like Baggy. Although it would be maybe good to trade with some of my further out cities, like Samarbrovia, just to get these roads going. Because I don't have roads running through this particular area. And it's always good to get your roads built. Just set up most of my spies to work at a higher level, and then we'll start stealing from the Inca and Chinese. Alright, here's the moment of truth. When everything went to hell, I'll accept your deal, sir. Here it comes. Just watch that mini-map. It's gonna be bad. Oh, God. Oh, it's bad. It's actually not that bad. It's actually not that bad. This is manageable. My troops are really passing by. Thank you very much. I don't have walls in most of these cities, actually, so this isn't half bad. This is easily recoverable. Most of the cities I lost are cities I either A, don't care about because I stole them from the AI, like Hamburg, Mainz, and Frankfurt, or they're newly settled cities that aren't core to my empire, like Novidium, Bibracte, Millennium, and Otricum. Now, I do want these cities because they actually are a huge source of strategic resources for me, but in the short term, I'm not massively impacted by that, and I only need to make like 40 more points to get back to where I was. This northern fight is actually going to be so easy, I think, because I can just waltz in like a few units to take out each of these cities. I should be able to get them back pretty quick. Now that we have steel, I'm not sure whether I want to head towards flight or just keep powering for rocketry. I think rocketry is the right choice here. Let's combine our bombards together, and then I'd also like to upgrade you, but you're not actually in friendly territory yet, so I'll pop you over here. It's 930 gold for that, which is insane. Let's reorganize our government here a little bit. I'm going to make it force modernization. And levy en masse instead of expropriation. I do want to get settlers. I'm still building settlers. Like, I really shouldn't have this card plugged in, but I don't really have a choice. Maybe public works? I'll just take it the way that it is, right? Because I need all that money. Yeah, look at my economy just tanks if I don't have that card in. But yeah, I'm going to upgrade you to artillery. And I have a decent amount of artillery on the way, so I should be able to combine all those together. I have 1, 2, 3... 4, 5 artillery on the way. I would maybe want to make that 6, and that way I can have 4 artillery armies, and then by the time I actually run out of oil, I should have settled these and got my stuff back together. I think I can handle this south area with just these musketmen and this pair of artillery, and I'm going to send my cavalry up to the north now to try to take care of that stuff. I have a couple of really strong cavalry units I can make my way up there with. And I also, maybe I should turn this into an AT crew. I need to get this pike and shot corps back to my territory as well. I think we can handle this pretty well. I've got to keep I've decided that I'm not going to centralize my trade routes into my capital, and I'm instead going to trade to my capital from other cities so that I can just have a stronger empire overall. Oh, the god, this city rebelled. Let's run away from there. This is going to be a hard city to retake because it's just kind of far out and I don't have roads and stuff. It's just in an awkward position. I don't know what happened to my minimap, but I wasn't always off to the left. I feel like something's gone wrong with my minimap. I'll vote for myself to get an extra trade route. I'll also say that great engineers should get extra double points. I myself would like these extra points, and we will pass the World's Fair. Guitarja won, Great Profits have been blocked, Pachacuti won the Diplo, and World's Fair did in fact pass. So World's Fair is won by generating Great People points. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to win that one, but we'll do our best. It's mostly a sort of passive... mostly a passive mission anyway. Right, let's go ahead and promote you. Do I keep one cavalry down here, or do I send them to the north as well? I've got AT crews coming in down here to resupply this sort of front line. So I think this cavalry is going to run north. Yeah, this is actually really scary. I don't want to get these units killed, so we'll do a full retreat. But let's bring this cavalry north, as it were. We've got some progress to make. Looks like my spy in China got caught. He did successfully escape with the gold, however. Right, we'll blast that infantry. I'm just trying to get a little bit of experience by attacking with my units, by the way. Because you get extra arrow score for when units level up past the first promotion. Alright, run away, little spearman. You gotta escape. You seem to be surviving just fine fortified there. It's probably going to be a tight squeeze. There's ideology giving me access to some lovely new cards. I really do need to fix my government. I don't think I can afford forced modernization anymore. It's gotta be levy en masse. I'm just losing so much money right now. I might have to put in economic union as well. International trade routes plus 1 gold per luxury and strategic. I'm doing like national trade routes, so man, how do I get extra money? Extra money. I could plug in collectivism for the extra food and production and housing and stuff, but I think it might actually have to be something like gunboat diplomacy to, or maybe Vissel banking to make international trading viable. I don't know. I will plug in levy en masse. I think that's what I'm going to leave it at. And one of these units, perhaps even 2 of these units are dead. Whichever one escapes, Godspeed. And you just shoot him, hurt him a little bit. So he does slightly less damage. First artillery is ready to join the fray, and we have our cavalry moving up. The problem with that artillery is it's going to start using up our oil, so I need to get a settler out here to the west. I have my second AT crew, who's online now, ready to join the southern front. And speaking of the southern front, let's bring our artillery forward and in range of the city. This guy's having a hard time. He's having a real hard time. I'm hoping that his fortification is making a difference, though. Now that we've finished the artillery in here, I think it is safe to go back for the university and stuff like that. I will be burning coal at like an absurd rate, but I think that'll be fine. Right, there is flight. We can go for flight if we want. Now, I'm worried about this guy. Speaking of which, by the way, we have flight, and none of our tiles that our mines are producing tourism. So if you were questioning me earlier, here's the proof. I have flight, which turns tourism from improvements into it turns culture from improvements into tourism, and none of that is happening on my tiles, so we can confirm that flight does not give you extra tourism from their mines. Oil, as I said, is a bit of a problem, but research labs are an even bigger problem. Now, I do have artillery here, and I think the big thing is to get these guys combined so I'm not at 0 oil as soon as possible, and then get this oil claimed. But again, my research labs are just so important that I'm going to focus them. I have policy fill options here. Definitely want rationalism. I need expropriation. I can probably do without the 50% boost, to be honest, but I definitely want rationalism. And I think I want 5-year plan here. I think that kind of slots into my government very nicely. I might have to take out public works. I'm kind of hoping that I don't have to. But yeah, I'm really struggling for gold. I'm struggling for... Well, I'm not struggling for science anymore, up to 300 science per turn, which is catching up to China there. I could also pillage my own science districts, or my own industrial zones for science, rather. I don't know if that is worth it, but I am going to pretty much immediately start hammering these cities with cavalry. Let's organize our trade routes by gold, and I'm going to pop them into my capital. And I'm going to be looking for gold trade routes in my capital because I don't think I'll be able to survive much longer the way that I'm currently playing. This guy needs to escape because I don't think you can survive a hit from you. There's no tiles around here that I could pillage for health. So if I move one to the northeast, I might be able to get a kill here. Excellent. So now you're safe and you might be able to survive another day with the help of this cuirassier. Maybe the field cannon can also provide support. All right, let's move artillery into range of the city. We have a musketman ready to retake these cities. Looks like everyone is going to survive. Run! I don't know where that other infantry went because there was one here, but it looks like it disappeared due to I don't know, sometimes the independent units disappear. So now we're just doing delta split. Everyone run a different direction. Hamburg meets its maker. We retake it. What's the loyalty like in here? Minus 20 per turn. I think I liberate here. Do I liberate or try to hold? That's a real tough question. It does have really good districts in here, so it might be worth it to try to keep. But Germany's in a golden age, which makes my life really, really tough. Excellent. We are escaping. Uh-oh. I spoke too soon. Alright, we can begin hitting the city. The city is under siege. Artillery moving north. This one's moving south to conjoin. Trade routes sorted by gold. It looks like I'm going to be doing a lot of trading with Germany. So it might be a good idea to establish an embassy with them. Maybe do like open borders. Maybe even send them a gift of something. Like I'll send them like 12 or 13 Diplo favor. I think usually gives them the plus 10 favorable trade deal. So I might be able to declare friendship with them next turn and get an alliance with them and get more from my international trade routes. I think I would go for an economic alliance because I'm just really struggling for gold. But in the meantime, we'll just start trading with Germany. Right, there's class struggle, giving us access to communism. Bye-bye, Merchant Republic. You've done very well for us over the last few turns, but communism is my new friend. Anyway, we have levy en masse. We have options for different things. We could do internal trade routes for collectivization. I think we're going to go for more an international trade route. So I feel like a market economy. I feel like triangular trade are going to be important for me. In terms of Dark Age cards, is there a Dark Age card that I maybe want to plug in? 50% production capital, loyalty. Okay, that's pretty good. The extra loyalty per turn in cities with governors, no. So rationalism and 5-year plan are pretty much mandatory. Public works, I could probably justify getting rid of now because I have improved most of my territory. And so more improvement isn't necessary. Market economy is pretty good because it'll give me extra culture and science. And I really want to plug in as well triangular trade. And I'm just trying to see, is there anything in here that would maybe be more justified than any of the cards I'm currently running? Like maybe free market, but my commercial hubs don't have a lot of adjacency, so I'd rather get the extra gold from there. Now in terms of levy en masse, I would like more oil and more coal, so I could plug in drill manuals, although that would only give me coal. I think logistics is a good move here that allows me to move my army around much easier. And I think Limitanii will give me a little bit of thing. Although total war is an option because a lot of the cities I'm attacking are neutral in terms of their loyalty. So that would actually give me extra yields. In particular, cities like Hamburg, where I should really have a cavalry unit running around and pillaging this city before I capture it. Because, in all honesty, I'm never going to be able to hold this city. So it's probably just really a pillage bait for me, right? I jam my my units into it to capture it, let it flip independent, have a builder in the area, repair all the tiles really quickly, then pillage them all again. Something like that maybe is kind of in the future for that city. Now that we have class struggle, we need to look into what is next. And I think that's going to be basically a beeline for like globalization and social media. There's not a lot of really relevant stuff on the way. Like maybe we pick up conservation for extra amenities with naturalists. That's an option. Things like Cold War, I mean, these aren't amazing. They're kind of okay. Cryptography is great, don't get me wrong. Space race, I mean, 15% of it has a military academy. Whoop-de-doo-dah. Yeah, there's not really a whole lot of cards in here that kind of spark joy for me. So what I might do is just beeline for International Space Agency and that'll let me get a lot of extra science to kind of boost my way through the tech tree. So we'll head towards globalization. Right, I need another campus. This looks like a perfect spot right here. +3 with potential 2 mines nearby for the +4. It's only a 9-turn build in the city that has 43 production, which is insane. This city will fall now. Oh man, this timing on that infantry spawn is perfect. Let's hide in the lake. You're going to keep running west. Alright, looks like Peter, this was the guy who was caught stealing, so I'll take him with Ace Driver. That gives him a better chance to escape if he is caught. 4 turns until the city flips independent. We can retake Mainz and maybe Frankfurt. I would have liked to have maybe captured more German cities. And honestly, a war with Germany might be on the cards. Like if we really think about it, once I get bombers, it might be a good idea to just be at war in the late game. Although then again, I want to turn Germany into my friend, so it might not be Germany that I go to war with, because he won't accept my friendship, you jerk. I've reached the point now where I'm just going to delete my scouts because they take up too much time to micromanage. Yoink. Plus, he was getting himself killed. Yeah, I feel like infantry, like free city units just like disappear and teleport around the world or something, because there was one here last turn, but it's gone now. And we can retake this city. And the loyalty in here is pretty bad due to the loyalty pressure from these border cities. They actually exert pressure on your city. So I'm going to have to grab Reina and pop her in here to try to buy me some time. Let's grab Mainz. Easy kill. Yoink. Belongs to me now. We will, of course, liberate or keep. I'll try to keep that city. It's going to flip in 3 turns, but that's not a big deal. Just want to kind of retake these cities. This might honestly be a waste of my time, realistically. Now, we just picked up a radio. We have a couple of sources of aluminium that we'll want to improve. So we'll get some guys, move it out over that way. We are getting our research labs online, and we're now finally on par with the AI in terms of science. And I think my plan was to get a couple of settlers to capture these oil resources. Unlocked conservation, and Hamburg has gone independent again, but this time the city has like insane defenses in terms of because it went independent and it was my city, it inherited my really high fortification strength, so it's probably unlikely that we'll retake this now. So I might just retreat from here and let these be independent. In fact, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I think it's time we just hightailed it out of here and just accepted that these cities are going to be independent. We got the shopping mall in our capital. That's going to give us some extra amenities and some gold. I kind of want to pick up some of these late game buildings, but I'd also like to really quickly grab a settler before I unlock rocketry. We've got ourselves another research lab over here, burning a lot of oil and coal, and we're slowly chipping away at these cities right here. Take me a few minutes, but I should be able to get this under control. Another research lab completed. Pillage for a little bit of health. We'll move our artillery up in range of the city. We can bomb the city right now. There we are. Let's get rid of this infantry as well. So the city's just easier to capture. And we'll try to take Mbanza and Bata back as well. Maybe I can liberate that for Diplo favor to sell to the AI. Because at this point, I think the big thing for me right now is I just need gold income. And I think Diplo favor is the way that I achieve that, because I can get like 25 gold per turn easily, and perhaps even higher from people like Wilfred, who may actually value Diplo favor higher. He'll pay 44 gold per turn for Diplo favor. So I think Diplo favor is just really an economic resource for me right now. So I think I'm going to go back through and recapture some of these cities, but only to sell them to the AI. Promotions are all coming in. Excellent. Mbanza and Bata is about to fall. Can recapture. That should kill this cavalry right here. I'm going to liberate it to the Congo, and we will start moving this artillery squadron back down. I mean, like, this city will still flip independent, but I get 100 Diplo favor for it, which I can then immediately go to Wilfred and say like, hey Wilfred, I've got 100 Diplo favor, how much would you pay me? You'll pay me like 950 gold probably is like a good amount. He paid me like 925 gold in a chunk straight away for that Diplo favor. Another shopping mall completed. I think it would be good to get a zoo, but I would rather get my factory and coal plants online. Speaking of coal, I really need to recapture these coal cities up here to the north. And I don't think I'm going to do it in time before I run out of coal. I can maybe capture this city this turn. No, just shy of what I needed. Another coal plant in here. What I could do is, if I look at my power map mode, I could maybe choose a city like Tirvana and opt to maybe run industrial zone logistics so it'll lower its power consumption. But I might just be better off plugging in something to give me extra coal. I'm trying to think what I could do here. I think I'm just going to run out of coal and have to accept it. Now, I could get the Ruhr Valley in Tirvana, which I suppose is actually a reasonable thing to do. It's a 22 turn build, so we'll go ahead and give it a go. Although that said, I would like a neighborhood in here. And I think placing it there is fine, because this is the crappy wood style. I think the neighborhood would represent more value to me than the Ruhr Valley. I know it's weird to say, although Ruhr Valley is really good. So yeah, we'll go for Ruhr. We have our first aluminum online, which is perfect. We have a settler coming out. We have another settler, I think, coming out up here in Baggy. And I think there was a bit of a revolt in the comment section, so we'll rename Baggy back to its original name. Oh my god, look at this gold that Congo is making. I don't even need to run gain sources. Like 84% is good enough for me, so we'll just go ahead and straight away start stealing from Congo. I'm wondering if Germany would like a friendship now. No, he doesn't like me enough, weirdly. It's kind of annoying. Why don't you like me, Germany? I just want to be your friend. Manza and Bata. Let's move our way back down to Hamburg. It's rebelling towards Germany slowly. John Rockefeller is amazing. Getting 3 oil right now is a huge deal. And I honestly just need to pick up that oil, because I'm struggling for oil right now. Even with all this oil that I have on the map, I haven't been able to actually activate it. So we'll recapture that city. You will heal up, and we'll send the army up to Millennium. We'll keep this city. It is on the border, but I should be able to maintain loyalty in here without a governor. We got our first settler. Excellent. We'll send you out to the west. I want to capture that oil there. Let's repair that research lab that got yeeted by this, and then we will go ahead and pick up the Royal Society so we can feed builders into spaceports in the late game. We have our research lab in here. What is important to me this era? I need another 34 era score, and I've got about 27 turns. I'm trying to think what's a good way to get that era score. There really aren't that many good ways to get it, so I think I'll just go ahead and build my neighborhood. Did I already build a neighborhood in here? Let me double check. No, I haven't got a neighborhood in here, but I'll get that neighborhood and I'll get my shopping mall, get those extra amenities in gold. Another research lab in Dividorum. Nice, there's rocketry. We can get to work on Earth's satellite, but more importantly, we will place our spaceport in the capital like so. And we'll finish the Royal Society, then go for the spaceport, and then we're off to the races. The space races, that is. I could go straight for satellites, but I don't need that immediately. It might be better off for me to go for plastics. I think actually picking up oil power plants and then plastics will help me with my problem of consuming far too much coal right now. So if I have the option to switch over to oil power, that's actually a pretty powerful option. And then this will give me access to more oil. And then by the time I'm finished this, then I'll be ready to go for the launch moon landing, because I still need to go through a couple of things in my capital. Nikola Tesla is probably one of my favorite great engineers. Provides +2 production and has +3 reach. So this is a great one to plop into your capital, where you have your sort of centralized thing. And what that means is the coal power plant and factory in here now just has massive reach, and will sort of pull in all the power demand into a single city. And then I can promote Magnus with industrialist in my capital, and then vertical integration as well. I think those are my next 2 steps. Let's begin bombarding Hamburg for what feels like the 8th time this game. Apparently this guy can't actually shoot over this. Is this hills? Yes, it is. I should be able to shoot over it now. Yeah, it feels like I've hit this city so many times this game. But this time I'm going to liberate it to Germany. And I'm going to do the same thing with Mainz. And in Bougie Magi, I'm going to try to take that too and liberate it to the Congo. Another round of shots on Hamburg. And the city should just about fall. Yoink. We will, of course, first of all, what we want to do is we want to get open borders with Germany. So our units don't get kicked out. And then we'll liberate the city so we can hold it right here. That'll get me 100 Diplo favor, and I can come over to Canada and say, hey, Canada, nice to meet you. You'll give me 44 gold per turn. Thank you very much. Not much I can do in terms of envoys to increase my income or anything like that. I have basically everything I want. I will take suzerainty of Preslev, though, at the very least, so that I have them under my wing and get that little bit more Diplo favor. My Diplo penalty from carbon is becoming a problem. I definitely need to promote Magnus, and I know I need to assign Victor somewhere, but just trying to get around to doing these things is itself a quest that I have embarked upon. Right, we're settling over here for the oil. This is fine. This settler was heading up to this oil to the north, so that's what we'll do. And then I think I had one more settler that was planning to go capture this oil as well. I will apologize and look elsewhere to settle. That's 30 Diplo favor. I can sell back to him again if I want. Right, let's begin the siege of Mainz now. I need to get this guy somewhere safe. Mainz is holding fast, which is great news. Another neighborhood completed. Let's grab the shopping mall for the gold and the amenities. Another neighborhood again, shopping mall. See, we got a coal power plant, entertainment complex in here. Let's grab ourselves a neighborhood. And the actual housing on the neighborhood doesn't matter. I just need to put it on a tile that isn't in the way, is my main objective with the neighborhood placement. Right, let's promote Magnus with Industrialist. This is going to improve our power efficiency from coal by a significant margin. Considering we are literally just out of coal, that's a big deal. If we look here, we are currently converting in one of these cities, 8 coal for 32 power. Now we could do 8 coal into 40 power, which is a pretty significant increase in the amount of power we can generate. But if we don't get our coal back soon, all of our research labs are going to go offline, alongside a bunch of other stuff that we have plugged into our government. So we're kind of, I wouldn't say we're racing against the clock, but we're definitely up against a timer here in order to efficiently get things. And the nice thing is we have started our spaceport. I have a spy ready to defend the spaceport. There's combustion, excellent. So I have access to tanks now. Let's blow the city asunder. Bring our cavalry forward. City will fall next turn. I'll get access to my coal again. That'll ease up my coal burden. We're only converting a little bit of coal, but we are getting 14 power out of that coal at the very least. I need to start thinking about what other cities are going to get spaceports. And I think Bibrax is a good option here. I think I'll just throw it down right there. Usually I wouldn't go for more than one spaceport, but in this particular game, I don't have a great way to centralize my production into my capital. So I'm going to spread it out. And this is mainly just for the very, very late game. I'll be able to easily build multiple of the late game projects. I'll also maybe want to get a couple of encampments to store up aluminum. So that's why I'm working on an encampment over here. The more aluminum I can store, the easier time I will have at the very, very late game, because power can be a bit of an issue if you complete multiple projects per turn, but that same problem doesn't appear for the aluminum project. All right, go ahead and shoot this guy and hopefully get rid of him. Mainz will fall this turn. Excellent. We recapture it. We go ahead and liberate it to Germany. Now he's going to have loyalty problems in here, but that's not my personal problem. We pick up another 100 Diplo favor. I talk to Wilfred. I say, hey Wilfred, you like Diplo favor, don't you? You have an endless economy that you can feed into me. Thank you, Wilfred, for your endless economy. An extra 44 gold per turn. Some people call that an exploit. I call it just the art of the deal. Now, I'm hoping that liberation of German cities will allow me to declare friendship with them. They still won't take a friendship, even though I've been liberating their cities. I'm really curious, what metric are they using to judge our friendship? I have a much bigger army than them. I've been helping them. I've given them favorable trade deals. I've liberated their cities. And still they're reticent. They're still reticent to be my friend. It's a bit disturbing, honestly. I'm like, if this is how you treat the people who treat you nicely, it's like, what kind of ruthless bastard are you when someone annoys you? All right, so we have a coal power plant in Radamakos. We have basically everything we need in here. I don't know if I'm going to build another spaceport in here. In fact, I think I would rather get a water park in here. That'll give me amenities. Although that said, I am at -1, so how important is extra amenities in here to me compared to, say, something else? I could work research projects and stuff like that to try to establish something, although I would kind of also like Robert Goddard, so I could run just a bunch of industrial zone grants and that would give me a ton of electricity. But not only that, It would give me a ton of great people points towards Robert Goddard. And I think that's a reasonable thing to do. Barracks completed over here. Grab the armory for more storage room for aluminum. This city needs a builder. Got tiles to improve. We're going to finish this city off. Recapture it. You heal. We will keep it, of course. Loyalty is a bit of a problem over here. I might not be able to hold or take that oil. And I need to take this city as well. Has valuable coal in it, so it's my next objective. But my coal reserves have been eased. My pressure on my economy, and we've already recovered from this dark age, this rebellion. Promote this spy again. Let's go ahead and take surveillance. Surveillance is good in a science victory because it allows you to defend your spaceport easier. Right, there's plastics. We can build offshore oil rigs. I had a couple of those spots where I want to do that here and here. So I think I'll grab a builder in Baggy. God, I forgot I renamed that city. But we did get another spy. This spy will probably go to my cap. No, this one's going to be offensive, actually. Probably Germany, actually. Or, sorry, Germany. I think I already sent a spy to this city in Germany. So maybe I'll send it to Heidelberg. Or Hamburg? You know what? Let's send it to Majapahit, because this has a really good gold income and we can steal a lot of money there. All right, research lab. I could purchase this research lab. Like, it's that cheap. Like, I could just purchase and it wouldn't hurt my economy too much. But I would like to store some gold. Having gold in the bank in the late game can be exceptionally useful for a variety of things. So that's why I like to hold on to my gold in the late game. Let's see, we got Adwatuka. This guy is just counter-spying. Siphon 1,500 gold from the Congo. I'm playing a little bit quicker now because there's so many more actions to do per turn. Each individual turn takes a little bit longer. All right, nice. There's next to 3 era score from Cold War. Perfect. I can build another spy. We're up to 249 out of 267. So we're pretty close to getting our golden age. Just shy 18 points, which seems pretty doable considering the amount of time left in this era. At least 18 turns. So I think things like shopping malls, food markets. Now this city in question has an amenity problem. I'm hoping that this sort of stuff will help out. I am, of course, consuming power at a very accelerated rate. More of my empire is on power, but everywhere that's red, that means you don't have enough electricity. We're very, very efficiently converting over here. However, this city is powering itself where... I think somewhere else is also converting, because I feel like I should be getting more than this from this. Yeah, I feel like I should be getting 30 power from this with Magnus. So I think the numbers here are a little bit off. It might only be using 26. I think Licio is going to switch to oil power. Although, what's your adjacency? Plus 10. Probably going to do oil power in cities with that have like plus 3 adjacency, I think is fine. So we'll convert to oil power over in Avaricum. And I haven't even done my power plant in here, so that's fine. Yeah, anywhere I have like a plus 10 coal power plant, I think I want to keep it. Plus 8. Anything lower than, say, a plus 8, I think I would happily convert over to a different one. So, for example, right here in the Ruhr Valley city, I'm very, very happy to convert over to oil power because the city's not going to use a lot of power anyway. And so the oil power plant actually has a different ability compared to coal power plants. It just provides 3 production to all cities within range. And it just allows me to use my oil for something other than units. And will save me coal because I don't think I'm extracting enough coal right now. Speaking of which, let's take out Total War and plug in drill manuals so we can get plus 2 coal. Slowly work on this encampment. We'll take that out. Alrighty. I don't know what Indonesia is doing over here against this city. Like, I don't think you're going to take it with this army. It almost looks like they're going on a crusade against me, which is really bothersome. And I really don't want that. Let's see if they will actually declare friendship. No, so they might actually be looking to come to war with me, which I'm not a fan of personally. Not a big fan of that. Not a fan of people trying to declare war on me. Don't know about you guys. Neighborhood completed in here. The city has plenty of food. We need the shopping mall. Should really go through the civs and see what resources I don't have access to. I have access. I need incense from one of these guys. I need jade from Canada, and I need tea from the Inca. So Canada and Inca trades. I have basically everything else. Canada first. I want your incense and jade. I will give you, yep, that much. And then I will go ahead and sell you. You don't want coffee, apparently. You don't want gypsum either. You don't want my tobacco. The hell do you want? Anyway, let's talk to the Inca as well. Open borders, mutual, click, click, click. Then we go for the, I think it was tea that he had, and we'll just pay him for it. We're making enough money now where we can do these kind of trades where we don't have to worry about it. Couscous, steel gold, 908 turns, lovely. That's why we have like 7k in the bank. Looks like we missed out on Robert Goddard, but he is probably one of the weaker space race grade engineers, so I'm kind of okay with him going to the Germans. It means I'll have much easier time getting a monopoly on the better ones. Mainz has flipped independent again, and Indonesia has decided that now is the time to come back and deal with that. I think with my city shots here, I should be able to nab that back for myself and sell it to Germany again for Diplo favor. It's kind of a loophole in the game rule. Yoink, there's Mainz. We liberate it to Germany, get 100 Diplo favor, immediately sell it to Canada. Like, you could say this is an exploit. I mean, sure, maybe it's an exploit, but I mean, I'm profiting, so I think it's fair game. What I want to do up here is I'd like an oil power plant, so I might go ahead and purchase factory and then oil power plant, and now I can just, you know, slap down a neighborhood just somewhere random. All right, Avaricum is being hit, or Otricum rather. We completed another shopping mall. You can see we're into positive amenities now. Wait a minute, is it +2 amenities to get? Wait, did they change how amenities work different from how I remember it? I thought it was they changed it from +1 to needing +2. Did they really change it to +3 amenities? Oh my god, amenities are so trash now. Why am I doing this? I thought I would get the +2 amenities and get like a decent buff, but even at +2, it's terrible. Wow, they actually basically just deleted amenities from the game. What a waste of my time. All right, do I want a third spaceport? I think that might be a good move. So I'll go for a third spaceport. A very, very rare triple spaceport build that I would almost never do. All right, we've taken out the encampment here, which means we're now a step closer to taking out Mabuji. Do I have observation balloons? I do. Let's go ahead and buy one of those in Bibrax and send it to go support my artillery. Man, these things are slow. All right, cross river. Balloon, get your slow ass over here. Actually, they're not that slow, but they're still pretty slow. All right, Janaki Amal. Do I care about this great person? I think I skip. Then someone took Janaki. This one is actually really, really good. If I actually had, do I have a, I do. It's like a lot of science, but I'm forced to recruit here, unfortunately. I would have much preferred a different great scientist, like, for example, Stephanie Kwolek, who I may be in for a chance to grab. Alvar Alto, I think. Do I skip Alvar? If I skip Alvar, that gives Germany plenty of time to catch up, whereas if I take Alvar, I can just immediately start working on the next guy who is actually relevant, like Sergei Korolev. So Alvar Alto, you're just going to get, you know, yeeted. And Mary Leakey, I'm going to use you in there. It's a nice boost to science. Not exactly the great scientist I was looking for. So I'm going to want to start doing now engineer industrial zone projects and science projects to get Stephanie and Sergi. Those are going to be major goals for me here. Let's go ahead and take this city out. There we are. Keep that. Finally, my empire is starting to look a little bit better powered. Pretty nice. Still lacking just a little bit of coal, but I purchased a builder over in Otricum that I just retook, and if I can get this coal online, I think I'll be fine. I don't think I've built a seaport before, so that would give me a little bit of extra era score. I got another shopping mall. Again, city's just not really suffering the amenity problems that I was kind of building these for. But, you know, I'm kind of committed into the amenity strategy, so I may as well, like, fully commit if I'm going to. I need a tile to build this on that doesn't screw me over. And I think that tile right there is fine. I think building a neighborhood in here, there's a +6 one. Not that I care. That could have been a really good campus too, but too late now for any of that to cry over spilt milk and so on. Oil online. Perfect. Now drowning in oil. Is this really the fastest way? Is he really just going to move me one tile? Okay. Man, I really can't shoot the city from here. I have to get like right in its face. It's like incredibly obnoxious. Wish I had that balloon right now. Let's grab ourselves a oil power plant up here. Lovely, there's satellites, we have the moon landing. I haven't actually even finished my spaceport, so moon landing is a bit redundant, but we're going to head towards the Mars colony now. And then eventually we'll start digging through this tech tree for the space projects. Let's go ahead and blast the city. I need you to move this Quiris here, for the love of God. I only have 17 turns to take the city. Mainz is going to flip independent again. I think I might actually be able to just surround and take this city if I have enough... Oh, God. If I have enough units in good positions, like. Obviously, what I just did there was not a good position, but... However, do I want another spaceport? I think this city is just going to work campus research grants basically for the rest of the game, which means what I want to do to efficiently produce things is I want to unlock every tile in here, tell the city to cancel all focuses on gold and science, right? So this is going to give me my baseline of what the city is going to be doing. I'll lock in maximum science, lock in maximum gold, and then I want to find tiles myself that I think are worth working. Like this one. Technically, this has a science on it, so it's worth working by the city governor, but I do not think so. I need food in here, really. So I think these grassland hills will help, although the food in here is really bad. Did I opt for a shopping mall in here? I really should have gone for something else. Well, what I can do is I could cut one from each of these to keep the city fed by working more mines, and now the city is actually fed and won't regress, and then working the campus projects is fine. So this city is now generating me a ton of wealth, a ton of gold, a ton of science, and is also producing me great people points. And we're going to basically do that in pretty much every city. I'm going to say focus on science, or well, I actually kind of prefer to do it manually, weirdly enough. The problem is the city doesn't have a whole lot of surplus food. So it is going to be in loss unless I can do something about that. And I don't think I can. The city will just have to slowly depopulate. I have 12 envoys that I'm holding on to. And I really should spend them. And I feel like Hong Kong is a good one to steal, because that gives me 20% production towards space race. Buenos Aires, I have Mexico. Mexico is a good one to grab, so I'm just going to pop 4 in there too. That should also reveal some of the map for me too, all the way over here. And it also means my power plants and stuff like that should reach much, 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 much further next turn. Mainz has flipped independent again. Thankfully this time I do have units in position. And I'll be able to grab it next turn. Although maybe I can grab it this turn. Yeah. And we just liberate it again to Germany. Get another 100 Diplo favor that we immediately sell to Canada. Yoink, thank you very much, Canada, for your extra 44 gold per turn. Now that my oil power plants are coming online, we're starting to burn a lot of oil for power. In fact, a little bit too much oil for power, because now we're not burning enough coal for power. So trying to get my economy balanced here is a struggle. I'm wondering why they're burning so much oil when I have a really good place to burn coal as well. Is there like a hierarchy to oil and coal power where it prefers oil over coal? A bit odd if so, but I won't judge. But we should have a surplus of coal. We don't have a surplus of oil, but I am working on that. I've got another oil in here. I've got oil over here. I'm working on this oil as well. And I think I had a settler heading up this way to grab this oil, although God knows what's happened to that settler. All right, so Tervana, you have basically finished your build. I'm going to tell, yeah, focus on gold. That's fine. You're slowly losing population. Get yourself a neighborhood to get a little bit of extra food so we can continue to work these. And then we will we'll probably work commercial hub investments here for gold. Man, slowly chipping away at the city. Has 100 combat strength. Where the hell did that come from? Bombarding Majuji Mai. Slowly chipping away at the city. Right, so I just got some extra gold in. I just completed my very, very first spaceport. And what I'm going to immediately do is take this spy who gives all of my spies +1 level when he operates in my home territory, and tell him to actually counter spy. So I'll confirm his placement in the city, tell him to protect the spaceport. Now, I also want to get the encampment down here so that I can use this as another place to use a spy to defend from. But that's not a priority because we're going to go ahead and start the Earth satellite. And with the completion of our spaceport, that signals the beginning of the space race, which is the beginning of the end of this series. So this is going to be the second last episode. Next episode, we will show the space race in its entirety. I love you all very, very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!